When I was a kid, everybody in my neighborhood, we all got together and for Christmas asked for a different gaming console. So I had a Nintendo, another friend of mine had a PlayStation, Sega, so on and so forth. So whenever I would get the PlayStation in rotation, I would play Twisted Metal. I was never really good at it, just because the cars are so hard to handle, especially with a joystick instead of a steering wheel. But I would play it all the time when I would get the PlayStation. Well, if you know the game, you know there's no backstory, there's no, outline of what's going on in the world. It's just cars with characters and they blow each other up. So what we were able to do was give all those cars and all those characters a backstory and show why they're here and what they're doing and how they fit into all of it. So it's similar to the game in the simplistic way of the game is made, but we give that simplistic nature a whole backstory and a whole world that they're living in. Well, the beginning of season 2, all John's dreams have come true. He's inside the walls. He's living out his dream life of being just a lackadaisical, easy guy in his house that he grew up in, which he didn't know about until the end of season 1. And we see him in this setting of, what's the future? Quiet's gone now. He's all alone by himself. How does he fit into this world? And, what's next for him? And, he really misses Quiet. Well, when I was in school, my teacher said something that I thought was really profound. He said, comedy is tragedy plus time. So you can look at any tragic moment, and if you look at it specifically beat by beat, moment by moment, you can find comedy in it. So the reality of this show is all about the tone, being able to take the show and, take those horrific, exaggerated, horrible moments, but also finding comedy around them. Stephanie said something the other day that really stuck with me. She said it's like the Muppets. And I would say it's kind of like the Muppets meets Cannonball Run. You have all these great cars and you have all these great characters, but they're all kind of clowns in their own way. Very, a lot of the things, as a producer, you get the outlines and the scripts early, so you're able to give notes and you're able to have an influence on where the character goes and how that season plays out from beginning to end. We were fortunate on this because we were able to do 2 extra episodes. We were able to make the show look and feel much bigger than the first season because of the tournament. So we took advantage of all of those resources and went as far as we could. I think now that we have so many characters from the game, you'll find a bunch of little hidden gems that connect the show to the game because there's so many characters that you'll recognize. So I think once people see it, they'll get it and enjoy all the little nuggets we've put in there for them. It's people love the idea of nostalgia. They love the idea of something drawing them back to a time in their lives that they remember as being pleasant or fun. And I think, what we've been able to do as a production is add a story that adds so much to the characters and the world that they live in that, people connect with it. And now with so many new characters, people will be able to look at the character that they identify with and follow that character through the tournament and have different characters they can root for instead of just having to root for Quiet or John. Well, I'm very excited by the idea of, and you'll see when you see how this season ends, the potential of a season 3 is there. The cliffhanger at the end of the season is huge. And I would love to see, because through the course of this season, John Doe becomes his own being. He becomes his own man. He solidifies himself as, top dog in this world. And I would love to see him go on and find those aspects and parts of his history that he's missing, find out why he's missing them, and move forward.